I want to tell you a story. I promise it's not a story you've heard before because it hasn't happened yet. Or, from your perspective, it hasn't happened yet. At least I hope not. At some point in the future, your future, people are going to start to disappear. Not kidnapped or murdered or anything malicious, just disappear. You know, randomly plucked from their day. Poof, gone. There 1 minute, gone the next. People, some of them are shopping, some of them at work, some fast asleep in their beds. All doing totally mundane things. Nobody driving a car, nobody flying a plane, or God forbid, doing surgery. It's as if those specific times were chosen to prevent as much damage as possible. But they weren't. Chosen, there was nothing to connect any of them. The people, the times, the places, it all seemed random. And people looked, people looked for a connection, but there was nothing. These people, they studied it, and they studied it, and they started to lose their minds. Sorry. Context. You're probably wondering what happened when the disappearances started. Well, nothing, really. Stuff happened. Local law enforcement started taking on the missing persons cases, and as the numbers started to grow over a larger area, government agencies took over. FBI, MI5, NICHO, CSIS. The whole world was looking for these people, but they turned up with nothing. So, a worldwide agency was formed. Will be formed. From your perspective? Sorry. Tenses and time are a bit confusing now. So, with basically the entire planet trying to figure out what's going on, where these people are going, who's taking them, and why, people started to point fingers. People would blame government cover-up or the supernatural. Conspiracy theorists even tried to connect it to Area 51, HARP, even so far back as the radio tests in the 50s. As time went on, though, the investigations faded, and people kept disappearing. It just became a part of life. People would disappear, and that was that. You'd hope it wasn't you, or someone you knew or loved, but I don't know. You just had to accept that people were gone, and it could happen to anyone. There were a couple instances of people claiming to have found some of the missing. They would never turn up anywhere near where they went missing from, or turn up 10 years later, not having aged a day. One person even claimed to have found one of the missing in an historical photograph 100 years before their time. That was always chalked up to doppelgangers, or people seeing what they wanted to see. But I have no proof of any of this. I can't give you a happy ending because I'm not sure there's an ending to it at all. And I can't give you a good beginning because every time I think about this, I lose more of it. Like I'm not supposed to know this. All I can say is this. This is not a warning. This is a telling. It's going to happen, and there's nothing we can do about it. I can't tell you who's gonna go because there's no rhyme or reason to it. I can't tell you if you're next because